the facial hair, the acne. Like you can literally reverse those symptoms and thrive with PCOS through diet and lifestyle changes and supplements too. The thing is that you do have to continue doing that routine to keep PCOS reversed.
Doctor said you got PCOS. Now go on, girl, just lose some weight. Till I took the symptoms into my own hands and reversed them naturally. So I became a dietitian to help my sisters feel the best they've ever felt. Take a step in my direction if you wanna prove them wrong and take control of yourself. Join a sister and a mister.
Are you ready? Because we're about to speak to the masses right now.
I've been ready. You have been lollygagging. You've been singing into the mic. You've been shuffling things around this room. You've been looking at dog TikToks of dogs sniffing their owners.
Sniffing inspections.
I don't understand what's going on. I've been sitting here. I bought a dress in the time that you've spent wasting for 15 minutes before we started this podcast. I bought a nice blue dress from Reformation.
You know, words hurt, and those stabbed me in the back like nothing else. Okay, so sisters, we're about to go live. We're going to go live on the gram and on TikTok, and we're going to do a live Q&A. Basically, we're going to take in questions from followers and answer them live here. You know, no script. There's no planned question. This is all just going to come straight from the breathing mouths of sisters? People.
Breathing mouths of
Is that how you... that's not how you would say it, but
all right.
That's what we're doing.
Let's get into it then. Should we go live with our sisters?
Okay, well, let's do it, Tanya. You got to go press that live button. You're all going to see now how we do this in real life, behind the scenes.
Like before we go live, I'm yelling at him. And
yeah, that's pretty much how it always goes. Okay, well, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, sisters. We're live on TikTok.
Oh, TikTok stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we're now live on both.
Okay, we're live on Instagram and TikTok. We're going to be doing a Q&A and recording a podcast at the same time.
Yes.
So, sisters, fire us with your questions and let us know what you're wondering about PCOS, PCOS management, PCOS weight loss, supplements, whatever you want to know. We are here to answer questions today.
Yes. I already see a lot of sisters I recognize from previous lives here. Hello to Ruxana. Hello to Prachi. Charlotte, what's up? Aruji, how's it going? Jade, my favorite couple to follow on social media, says MC. Oh, thank you. That's so nice. Afi says my favorite couple. Thank you.
Let's get into some questions.
Yeah. So for those joining, we're doing a live Q&A, and this is going to go on our podcast, A Sister and Her Mister. So if you want your username or your question to be read on the podcast, just send them through and we're going to answer as many as we can in the next, about 30 minutes. So, okay. First question here is Akansha. She asks, how to lower cortisol levels? Ooh, great question.
That is such a good question because a lot of times we get used to having high cortisol levels. We live in a constant state of stress. And even when we can relax, we don't relax because we are just used to being on. So some of the ways to help reduce those cortisol levels is, first of all, recognizing that reality. And second of all, just making simple swaps with your lifestyle, and you'll find that your body is having a better reaction. So if you're constantly going on 2-mile runs every single day to help you lose weight, well, maybe you can try swapping that for walks or doing slow weighted workouts. Maybe you are cutting calories because you're trying to lose weight with PCOS. So that can be very stressful on your body, increase cortisol levels, send you on a blood sugar roller coaster, and in fact, cause you to gain weight in your midsection, more belly fat. So it's not really doing much. And you might figure that out in the end of suffering from a low-calorie diet. You might find out that you didn't lose as much weight as you thought you would, or you didn't lose any weight at all. So eating the right amount of calories for your body, but choosing foods that are anti-inflammatory, that help with blood sugar and inflammation. So gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free.
Also focusing on like magnesium-rich foods is also a great way to lower cortisol levels. As we all know, magnesium is a great supplement, but you can also find it in certain foods. And it's a great way to lower those cortisol levels throughout the day so that by nighttime, you're not suffering from high cortisol levels and keeping you up.
Yes.
All right, interesting question here. What skin conditions are associated with PCOS? Question from It's Shay. So a lot of times women with PCOS can struggle with something called acanthosis nigricans, and this is essentially a symptom of insulin resistance where you can experience skin tags and darkening of the skin. So this can be very common with insulin resistance, but it's totally reversible by managing insulin resistance. To do that, of course, the most important way is through diet. So prioritizing protein, prioritizing healthy fats, and also making sure that you are within a certain amount of carb tolerance. With that, you'll start to have healthier insulin levels. And then, of course, you can layer that with supplements like inositol, which has been studied to help with insulin resistance and other PCOS symptoms.
Yes. Let us know in the comments if you know what your carb tolerance is, as Sirak mentioned, and we can talk about that too.
All right. Well, for anyone joining in the last few minutes, we're doing a live Q&A for the podcast. So send in your questions, and we'll keep it going. All right. What is the perfect diet for a PCOS breakfast? So, Tyne, what is the perfect PCOS breakfast for you? Maybe give us like 3 different meals in your head. Like if you're gonna whoop up a breakfast today, what would be 3 options that you would consider?
Okay, first of all, breakfast is the most important meal of a PCOS sister's day. So if you don't like breakfast, I suggest you start small by having like a few almonds and just kind of shifting your hunger and fullness hormones so they can stimulate in the morning more and you don't eat as much as at night. Okay, so some things I like to have include a smoothie, and I really like to pack the calories, the healthy fats in there.
What's in your smoothie?
In my smoothie, now I have been putting, so I always did this, pea protein, almond milk, half a banana, a few frozen strawberries, and a tablespoon of almond butter.
Yeah.
But now I add another tablespoon of olive oil. I also add
dark cocoa
powder, and both products are, what was the brand called? Whatever.
Let's just take the brand.
Make sure you get a clean, pure brand.
Yeah.
And both products, so there are 2 products that I've been using for anti-inflammatory purposes and also to get my breakfast calories up there. So it's around like 600 to 700 calories for breakfast. So by the time it's lunchtime around 1 o'clock, I'm not starving. I'm good. So I feel like I don't feel like I'm on a blood sugar roller coaster all morning, like I need to snack or anything like that. I feel good until lunchtime. And that way I have a nice big lunch and then kind of like a smaller size dinner. And that's what really makes me feel better, helps me keep my blood sugar stable. I've read studies about it. That's why I tried it and I really liked it. So big breakfast, small dinner.
Yes.
Do you know what the most researched supplement for PCOS is?
Yes. Inositol.
But do you know that not all inositols are the same?
Hush your mouth.
The latest research on PCOS women uses inositol with a ratio of 40:1 myo and D-chiro-inositol with a daily dosage of 4,000 milligrams.
Well, I declare.
But here's the problem. A lot of inositols out there do not use the 40:1 ratio, and many do not have a daily dosage of 4,000 milligrams. So that 1 month supply of inositol you bought may last half the time if you take the clinical dosage.
Heavens to Betsy.
Well, hold your horses, cowboy. That's why I love Ovasitol. It comes in a ratio of 40:1 myo and D-chiro-inositol, and it provides a daily dosage of 4,000 milligrams. It also comes in a 3-month supply. And best of all, it's the only NSF certified 40:1 inositol, so you know that it's been third-party tested for purity and accuracy.
Well, butter my backside and call me a biscuit.
Head over to ovafit.org to order your Ovasitol today with our special 15% off promo. You can also find the link in the show description.
Well, I declare.
Okay, that's enough.
Thank God, I'm out of freezes. All right, Sara Correa says, I'm doing intermittent fasting, taking spearmint tea, and not using sugar or dairy products. I have lost 5 kilograms in a month.
That's 12 pounds.
Is this the right target of weight loss to achieve in a month? Oh, absolutely. I mean, just a great job, first of all. Great job, sister, for those great results. And I mean, yeah, that's about 10 to 12 pounds. And for a lot of people, that would be great. For a lot of people, that would be even more than maybe what they expect. So that's a great weight loss journey in a month, we always recommend about 1 to 2 per week because that's sustainable. Anytime where you get like really quick or really instant weight loss, that's usually from something like where you're restricting something, and that can be hard to sustain. But in your case, like where you lost 10 to 12 pounds in a month, it falls within that range or a little bit, around that range. So I think that's great. Congratulations.
Congrats.
What's your opinion on intermittent fasting? Does it work for PCOS? And what are the hours we would recommend?
I recommend doing a 12-hour fast. Start by finishing your dinner. That's when your fast starts. And 12 hours later, it's probably breakfast time. And that's when you would break the fast. And I think 12 hours is ample time for you to have nice and low insulin levels for your body to recover. And it's just better for insulin sensitivity to have a long period of time where your insulin levels are low. That's not to say starve all day or push it to 13, 14, 15 hours, because sometimes that can be really stressful, especially on a woman's body. Not everyone can handle it, and I don't think it's necessary. I think a 12-hour fast is good enough, and I think that doing anything more than that, if you feel starving and stressed out and blood sugar is dropping, I just don't think it's necessary or helpful.
Yes.
Please help explain why my cortisol levels were low. One thing I learned a while back was that sometimes when your cortisol levels have been high for a really long time, your adrenal glands stop producing enough cortisol. So then you have low cortisol. That's something I learned a while back. So that's interesting. You may want to consider, like, have you felt really stressed out for a long period of time? Are you burned out? Maybe that's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Okay. All right. So many questions coming in, but we're going to try to get to most of them. I see one here.
Can whey sorry.
I'll go for it.
Can whey protein be consumed for PCOS? I don't recommend whey because it's actually made of dairy. So I always talk about going dairy-free for PCOS because dairy triggers testosterone levels and androgen levels, and that's the last thing a woman with PCOS needs. And so I don't recommend that. And I think whey also can affect your insulin levels too. So I don't think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question you wanted to answer?
Oh, I lost it.
Before I cut you off.
I lost it. That's okay. Well, there's a question on TikTok about hormonal acne, how to reverse hormonal acne. So when it comes to acne, this can usually fall under what's called hyperandrogenism, which means elevated male hormones, aka elevated testosterone levels. So when you have elevated testosterone levels, it can cause acne, it can cause hair loss, facial hair, excessive hair, etc. So with this, you really want to focus on number one, lowering the testosterone levels. So sometimes people will recommend supplements like ashwagandha, for example, for lowering cortisol, but ashwagandha can also raise testosterone levels in women. For that reason, you want to avoid taking ashwagandha unless you found a certain amount that's been good for you. Now, in terms of lowering testosterone levels immediately, there are supplements like saw palmetto, but also spearmint tea has been shown to lower testosterone levels if you consume it 1 to 2 cups a day. But you want to focus on lowering testosterone levels immediately, but also you want to focus on what's causing the testosterone levels to go up, what's causing the hyperandrogenism. Now, we always, of course, recommend doing lab tests to get down to the bottom, get down to the root cause. But in many cases, it can be caused by insulin resistance. When you have insulin resistance running rampant in the body, it causes the ovaries to actually overproduce testosterone levels. That's right, the ovaries can actually produce testosterone, they normally do, but they can also overproduce testosterone, causing you to have the hyperandrogenism. So you want to look into that. There's also a third underlying, there could be a third underlying reason for the elevated levels of testosterone, and that's due to the sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. So what this does is it acts like a sponge. So anytime you have excess testosterone in your bloodstream, the sex hormone binding globulin comes in and cleans it up like a sponge so that your levels are normal. So when you're low in this hormone and globulin, the testosterone can run rampant. So because of this, the best way really is to first run a lab test to see why your testosterone levels are high, or if it's your testosterone levels high, is your globulin low, etc., and really find the root cause there.
Well said, babe.
Of course.
For our fellow sisters.
Yes. All right. For anyone joining the live, we are doing a live Q&A for the podcast. And let us know in the comments if you've listened to the podcast or how long you've been a listener. I know I see a fellow listener on TikTok, Sevan. He's sent us some gifts. That's my boy.
Okay. He does not have PCOS.
But he's a listener, man. He loves the podcast. So, send him a shout out. Okay.
Okay. Can you cure PCOS and do you have to take your supplements forever? That's a great question. You can reverse your PCOS symptoms and you can not live with, the constant weight gain, the bloating, the facial hair, the acne. Like you can literally reverse those symptoms and thrive with PCOS through diet and lifestyle changes and supplements too. The thing is that you do have to continue doing that routine to keep PCOS reversed, or else it may come back. The thing about PCOS is it's a combination of genetic and environmental factors that cause it. You can genetically be susceptible to insulin resistance. You may have a lot of inflammatory factors or stressful factors in your environment. And so with this together, this can trigger a completely different picture in your ovaries, inflammation and insulin resistance. It can trigger a lot of hormonal disruption. And so when you change your diet, it's not going to be temporary. So that's why when we talk about going gluten and dairy free, we talk about it in a sustainable way. We talk about swapping out foods you love with foods that are gluten and dairy free that you can also love, that taste the same or feel the same when you cook with them. And so we try to make it a lifestyle rather than a quick and easy 10-day diet.
Yeah.
So if you go keto, that might just be like a 1-month thing or 6-month thing, but PCOS is forever. So you have to choose a lifestyle that works forever.
Yeah.
Including supplements.
Yeah, exactly. Diamond Heart says, I love absolutely everything you two do. Thank you. It means a lot. You changed my life to the better. Oh, thank you, Diamond Heart. That's so sweet of you to say. And I see some people asking, where is it a podcast? Where can I listen to the podcast? So the podcast is available anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, and it's called A Sister and Her Mister. If you just search PCOS, you'll see the cover of us and recognize us, hopefully, and you can just listen from there. Okay, I see a question here. Okay, what exercise should I do to control PCOS? Ooh, great question. Okay, let me know in the comments if you're confused about exercises, which ones to do, which ones to avoid, and you're just not sure where to get started. And then I also see a lot of questions on the TikTok side about Ozempic, Mounjaro, so we should probably cover that too afterwards. All right, cool. So, okay, when it comes to doing exercise for PCOS, it's really hard because for a lot of women with PCOS, when they go to the doctor's office, the first thing that they're told is usually, eat less, work out hard, just worry about calories in, calories out. And then they do that. They go to HIIT classes, maybe like 6 days out of the week. Maybe they do like spin classes one after the other, and they try to burn as many calories as possible. But then they end up feeling fatigued, low energy, having mood swings, and then they step on the scale after a few days and they see that they've gained weight, or they see they haven't really lost any weight, and it's super frustrating. Totally understandable. I can relate, like doing all that work and not losing weight. So why is this happening? So a lot of times this is usually due to an imbalance of like stress and recovery. You're putting your body through a lot of stress by doing these really intense workouts. Maybe it's HIIT, maybe it's bicycling, maybe it's running for hours, and this is really putting your bodies on a lot of stress. And then you cut calories, which cutting calories already puts your body in a state of stress. It tells your body that there's not enough foods, so you have to be basically on the defensive to make sure that your body has enough to survive. So when you're combining intense workouts with then calorie deficits, you're just putting your body in this state of fight or flight mode. And that's going to cause your body to actually retain weight. It's going to break your metabolism. It's going to worsen insulin resistance. So that's why we don't really recommend doing intense workouts, cutting calories, and focusing on this calories in, calories out. Instead, you want to do exercises that nourish your body. So for example, doing low intensity workouts like Pilates, slow weighted workouts, walking. If you sprinkle these in with your high intensity workouts, if you choose to still do them, you can actually start to see a lot better results because your body will relax and your insulin resistance will improve, your metabolism will improve, and so forth. So we highly recommend finding those kind of workouts you like. Maybe it's Pilates, maybe it's the slow weighted workouts, doing them 2, 3, 4 times a week, and then you can still sprinkle in the high intensity workouts 1 to 2 times a week, whichever ones you like, and then just go from there and see how you improve. Because I guarantee you, once you let your body relax, once you let your cortisol levels kind of balance off, and still do the workouts and let your body rest, you'll start to see a lot more results.
Well said.
Thank you.
I did do my slow weighted workout this morning
Oh, yeah, you did,
at
right?
7 a.m.
Yeah.
I was very sore because
Yeah.
on Tuesday we filmed a bunch of workouts for our app, The Sisterhood.
Yeah.
And we filmed from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. almost nonstop. We filmed workouts with weights. And, I was doing the workouts from 9 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
I was so sore the next day.
Yeah, Talling did 160. I'm not lying. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. 160 exercises in 6 hours. Probably less because, that includes lunch and stuff. And like each exercise is about like 20 to 30 seconds because we're filming them for the app.
9 to 5.
Yeah,
What's that?
9 to 5, yeah.
That's 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then a 1 hour lunch break.
Yeah.
So, oh my God. Yeah. Well, I was extremely sore, but
Yeah.
you know what? It was worth it. And I didn't want to like spend another day filming. So we just powered right through it. And then the next day, I literally like woke up at 3 a.m. I felt like I got hit by a truck. Every muscle was throbbing. I do not recommend it.
But if you're part of the app, that means in July, so we just finished filming and then we're gonna edit them. I'm gonna edit them and put voiceovers over each one. So I have a lot of work now left to do. So you did the hard part, but I have the second hardest part where I have to edit 160 videos and put voice notes over each one of them for 30 seconds, which is gonna be intense. But anyway,
think that's equal. I think we're equal.
In July though, that big update's coming, so you're gonna all see that. But okay, anyway, let's continue with the questions. I see some follow-up questions about the workouts.
What about swimming?
Swimming is great. Honestly, swimming is like a full body workout where you're literally using every single limb, every single muscle in your body. So it's great. And again, it's just really about the intensity that you go through and the recovery and how much you're putting your body through. Like we always say, just try to control your breathing, try to control your heart rate and go at that steady pace. See question about cycling. And cycling, same thing. Like it's really about controlling your breathing, your heart rate, and I see here Zumba or dance classes. Those are great too. Great way to get cardio in. So yeah. Cool. Let's talk about Ozempic, babe.
Okay.
A lot of questions about Ozempic from TikTok.
A lot of questions from Ozempic, the semaglutide, the injection, the one that's meant for diabetes that helps with weight loss. Now, we recently did a podcast episode with Dr. Phyllis Gersh, who talks about her take on Ozempic. And I really take her opinion into consideration. I mean, I really like her. She has a great book called PCOS SOS, and it's absolutely life-changing if you want a good book on PCOS, as I was saying. So she was talking about how the studies done on women with PCOS who took Ozempic showed some weight loss results, but nothing that you couldn't have done with diet and lifestyle changes that target the root cause of PCOS. Now, although it's great that it can help some people and I'm here for it, whatever works for you. But at the same time as taking it or not taking whatever you decide to do, it's important to make the diet and lifestyle changes that really target the root cause of PCOS, and that's insulin resistance and managing your blood sugar levels. It's just so important to do whether you're on Ozempic or whether you're not on Ozempic. And what I mean by that is making sure that you're eating within your carb tolerance range consistently. Making sure, for example, I like to eat between 100 and 120 grams a day. That will keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. And then also taking an inositol supplement, for example, 4,000 milligrams of a combination of myo and D-chiroinositol. So important for women with PCOS who have insulin resistance and also an inositol deficiency. And then we have other tips like going on walks, making sure you're getting 10,000 steps a day, lifting weights at least 3 times a week, doing your slow weighted workouts, making sure you're taking other supplements that help reduce inflammation. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff to do and it can be challenging, but of course, one step at a time, you can do it. So whether or not you decide to go on Ozempic, I still think it's important to do all these things because eventually when you get off of Ozempic, you don't want the weight to come back. And it will come back if you don't do all of the things that help manage your blood sugar, because essentially taking Ozempic is helping you manage your blood sugar and reducing your appetite and helping you lose weight, but then you get off of it and then what? Right? So it's really important to make sure that you have everything solidified before, during, after, whenever, as soon as you can.
Yeah, that's a really great point about Ozempic too, is because we're seeing a lot of research studies right now coming out, and they're essentially showing that when people get off of Ozempic, they're rapidly gaining the weight back and either have to go back on it or have to find other means of losing that weight again. So the lesson to learn from that is that if you do choose to go on Ozempic or any of those kinds of GLP-1 medications, you have to create that sustainable approach as you're taking that medication so that when you get off, you're continuing that sustainable approach so that you're able to keep that weight off. Because what Ozempic and all these Mounjaro, all these are doing is they're paralyzing your stomach. They're causing your stomach to not want to be hungry by sending signals to your brain to tell your brain that we're full. But in reality, you're not full. Your body hasn't had enough food and you're essentially starving. And when you starve, what happens? You lose nutrition, you lose body mass, you lose muscle mass, you lose bone density, which is obviously not good for women as well because women are at a higher risk for osteoporosis as you get older. So all these are really important factors of you have to find a sustainable approach, not starve yourself, add the protein, do strength training workouts while you're on those kinds of medications. So when you get off, you're at a better place. So there's definitely positives to taking them, but there's also a lot of risks to taking them, and you have to be really, really aware of those.
Yes. What else do we have?
Okay. See, oops, I just invited somebody by accident.
Where? Live?
Yeah, by accident.
Like to literally go live with us?
Yeah, that was totally
Can you
accident.
Cancel.
I don't know how I do.
Okay, well, we'll see. All right. What else do we have?
I've been drinking your tea and love it, says Liana. Oh, thank you, Liana.
Thanks, girl.
Appreciate it.
PCOS SOS by Dr. Phyllis Gersh. Yes, that is the book that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. See, lovely Rocio has been answering some questions while we've been answering some others. So thank you for that. We appreciate it.
She says, try going dairy-free for 30 days. See how you feel.
Yes.
Amen.
Are y'all sending your questions? Okay. Oh. Does low vitamin D have any correlation with PCOS? Ooh, this is a great question. Gosh. Yes, it does.
I wrote maybe a 30-page paper about this in grad school. Vitamin D and PCOS. I can't even believe there's that much to say about it.
I remember, yeah, okay.
It's in my Google Drive. Should I send it to you? Just kidding. What did I even say for 30 pages? Basically,
there's
it's
a lot
correlated.
to say, though. There's a lot to say about
Vitamin D is not really a vitamin. It's like a hormone.
Yeah.
Okay? Because having low levels of vitamin D, it's like a precursor hormone that you're basically missing. So you want to make sure that you have ample vitamin D levels. Many women with PCOS don't have enough. This may be due to inflammation, insulin resistance that causes, vitamin deficiency. So it's important to supplement, make sure you have enough because it's the precursor hormone to many of our sex hormones. So this is important to make sure you're not low.
Yeah.
To summarize my 30 pages.
Oh yeah, and like Tanya was saying, it's a hormone and it plays a factor in so many things like mood. Anxiety, depression, mood, insulin resistance, stress, energy levels, fertility, sleep. Like you have to
testosterone.
All hormones essentially. So you really want to make sure that your vitamin D levels are good and not just like barely good either. You want to make sure it's really optimal. Better to be higher in vitamin D than to be in the lower range, just because it's so important.
That's right.
And that question was by, I love her username. It was Katie. She had 3 Katies in her username, and honestly, I love it. That was great.
Has anyone watched Modern Family? Closets.
Every
time we go to a hardware store, faucets. Closets. Like, we can't just say the name of the store. We're like, it's called Faucets and Fixtures. We call it faucets.
Yeah. All right. Question by lovely Rocio. I like to mention that the testosterone relief tea is so good. I only drink it at night, but do you recommend drinking it twice a day?
That's
great question.
It's
great. I love it. Thank you, lovely Rocio, for those great comments.
Yes. Drinking it once a day is good. It's a custom blend formula. So it has a lot of different potent herbs that help reduce testosterone levels and androgen levels.
Yeah.
But optimal results twice a day.
Yeah.
Sidak's about to get us a box.
Well, no, I was going to say too, so usually like we've talked about it in the past, like if you drink, the research studies show drinking spearmint tea twice a day, up to twice a day, I should say, can help lower testosterone levels. And with ours too, you can drink it, of course, twice a day too. But ours has spearmint tea. And in addition to the spearmint tea, it also has other ingredients that help to make it more effective. So it has the time.
Good.
It has nettle, it has cinnamon, peppermint, and chamomile. So all of these play factors because the nettle helps to detoxify the excess hormones to help expunge the testosterone out of your body. And then we have like the cinnamon, which helps to lower, or what I should say is it helps to improve insulin sensitivity. And then there's peppermint, also helps to lower testosterone, and chamomile, which helps to lower stress levels, which will then help with testosterone.
We also added rosehip to help lower stress levels, which is great to drink at night, especially for your adrenal glands. It has vitamin C in it, so it's really good. And then cinnamon, which is great for insulin sensitivity. Lots of studies show that helps with blood sugar control. And then we have lemon balm and orange peel, and it just gives it this perfectly delicious flavor.
Yeah.
And that's why it tastes really good and not minty and gross.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why you can drink it once a day and still have it be effective, or you can drink it twice a day as well. All right. You both have been way more helpful with my PCOS journey than my actual doctor, says Gabby. Oh, thanks you, Gabby. That's so sweet of you to say.
Well, I'm glad.
Miss Snazzy says, how do I get the tea? Well, I'll tell you how you get the tea. You're going to get the tea for free because we're going to send it to you. Whoa. How about that?
Okay.
All right. Miss Snazzy, you're going to get a box of testosterone relief tea. We'll send it to you this week.
He's a maniac.
Okay. Jazzy J says, I appreciate these lives. Omi3, I just got my tea and I can't wait to try it tonight. Whoop, whoop.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's answer one. Should we answer one more?
Question.
Let's do one more. All right. It says, hey guys, I love your workout videos. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're going to love the new ones. Let me tell you. I'm still sore. Why did I work out this morning? Why?
Why not? Okay, egg diet, is it good or bad? Is egg diet good or bad for PCOS weight loss by Monica? So that's definitely...
Does that mean eating eggs in the morning?
Yeah, so I guess if the question is are eggs good or bad? One thing we can say is, of course, there are small population of the population that are allergic or sensitive to eggs. So for those people, they're not good. But for large majority of people with PCOS, eggs are great, especially in the mornings as a breakfast option because it has healthy fats, high protein, a lot of great nutrients. So it's a great part of your diet.
Zinc. It's so good for you.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and eat your eggs. It's dairy free.
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a plan to how to get pregnant with PCOS?
I think that everything that we talk about helps you get your period back, helps you ovulate, helps you lose weight, which is essentially, preparation for getting pregnant if that's what you wanted to do. And then if it's not, then just preparation for thriving with PCOS.
Yeah, exactly.
Stephanie, she says,
my time in the app is amazing. Stephanie, we're so happy to hear that. Thank you so much.
So glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, we always appreciate sisters who are enjoying the app. And for anyone who is enjoying the app, if you could always just consider leaving us a review on the App Store, whether it's on Apple or Android. It always helps us to, help spread more awareness to other sisters. And just, it's always good for us to read those reviews and feel good about the whole app process. All right. Well,
sisters.
I guess that's it.
This was fun. Thank you for joining us on a Sister and Her Mister podcast / Instagram Live, TikTok Live. And if you want to join the Sisterhood app, just head over to the link in bio and you can join us in the Sisterhood.
Yes.
We have meal plans, grocery lists, workouts, the community. Hello.
I'm seeing a lot of questions about where can I order the tea or where can I find more information. So if you go over to our website, you'll find everything there, PCOSweightloss.org. PCOSweightloss.org. You'll find all the podcast episodes. You'll find blogs. You'll find the tea. You'll find information about the app. All that jazz. Just head over to PCOSweightloss.org. And if you have any questions, just DM us.
Talk to you soon, sisters.
Cool. Take care, everybody. We love you. Have a great rest of your week.
Word of mouth is our absolute best friend here at PCOS Weight Loss. So if there's someone that you know that you think might enjoy this podcast, go ahead and share it with them.
And if you don't mind, go ahead and rate and review the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you're listening to the podcast.
It really helps more than you think. Thank you so much for listening and being part of the Sisterhood community. Talk to you next time.